Let's talk some football. And the Rams come into Giant Stadium limping this week. Marshall Faulk's out with that injured knee. Kurt Warner still out with that broken pinky finger. But backup quarterback Trent Green has proven he can move this offense very effectively. And keep in mind, he's familiar with the Giants, dating back to his time when he played for the Washington Redskins.
I feel very comfortable facing New York, because I've actually played against them twice, and being in the division, know them quite well. And the defensive coordinator, John Fox, I was with in San Diego, and then to see them come in here last year and see the types of defenses. And so I'm comfortable with knowing what they do. It doesn't mean it makes it any easier.
Running game is really helping them out because they're averaging like 150 yards a game rushing, and that's good for NFL average, and it's really opening up their passing game.
The NFC thinks they got it going on, thinks they're physical, things like that. And that's fine. I mean, you can think whatever. We know we're the world champs. That's what we know. So we got to step up, man. We got some key injuries, and last year we had the luxury of not having anyone hurt.
It's going to be crazy up there. It's definitely going to be a playoff-type atmosphere, and having played in that division for 4 years, I know what the New York fans are all about, and the fact that both teams are sitting atop their divisions. It's definitely going to be a very loud crowd, and it's going to be a fun game.
As for the Giants, they come into Sunday's game with a 2-game lead in the NFC East, and they're telling reporters in New York that despite all the injuries the Rams have, they still consider the St. Louis offense the most explosive in all of football. Let's go behind enemy lines and hear what the G-men are saying about the Rams.
You got to pick your shots when you can blitz them, because if they catch you in the wrong blitz, it's 7. So other teams, it may be a first down, but with them, if they catch you blitzing at the wrong time, it's 7.
On their worst night of the season, they scored 24. That's their worst night of the entire year. I think every team in the NFL would take that as their worst game, 24 points.
Well, Kevin Carter will be starting at defensive end on Sunday. Mike Martz put the All-Pro on the bench after Martz thought Carter had been playing too soft for too long, especially in that loss to the Chiefs about 3 weeks ago. But Carter has earned a starting spot back for Sunday's game, which he's happy about, but you can tell there's still some lingering feelings about how the 2000 season has been going for him.
Yeah, I didn't have as big a chance to really make anything happen in the last 2 games. I didn't really have the role that I've had around here for the last 5 years, and it kind of lessens your responsibility. But now that hopefully, the responsibility's been placed on my shoulders again to go out there and help us win, and that's what I plan to do. You learn to take everything in stride. You learn to go out there and take it as it comes. I can't control anything else, anything that I do except for what I do on the field. And if I can go out there and help my team win in any capacity, it's up to the coaches and organization to decide in what capacity they want that.
Well, they have the worst record or the worst defense in the NFL. They also have allowed more points than any other team through 10 games. They are the San Francisco 49ers. The Chiefs will travel to the city by the Bay Sunday with the hope of doing what those 10 other teams have done before them, score. Elvis Grbac can pick his poison when it comes to passing, but one look at the Niners secondary and the Chiefs could be giving out lethal injections all day.
They've got some young guys in their secondary. Up front, they've had some people banged up, and they've got a lot of different people at different positions in certain games. So we're going to go in this game. There's going to be some new guys playing, and some guys that played in the beginning of the year are going to come back because of injuries. But the thing is, we've got to go out and execute and do the things that we need to do to win this game. Is it scoring 30, 14, 40 points? Whatever we have to score, we've got to do it offensively. We can't worry about, what it is defensively that that they're lacking, or if they're young or whatever. We just got to go out there and execute. Their nickel package is pretty good, and we've got our work cut out for us there. Third down situations, we've got to convert our third downs. We've got to probably be up in the 50s and 60s percentage-wise on third down. And then base, they go out in gear and stop the run. They've got some front guys that can really do that.
Andre Rison was back in Kansas City, and he was back in court. The former Chiefs wide receiver pleads guilty in Jackson County Court to writing a bad check for $78,000 to a jewelry store. Rison was sentenced to 2 years in probation. I guess that's one for every touchdown he's caught against the Chiefs this year. Talking about that Chiefs game coming up against the 49ers, we've been talking about it for so long, but it's true the Chiefs really have to establish some sort of running game. This 49ers team can score a lot of points, but their defense should be soft enough for the Chiefs to establish some sort of running game and get on track.
And it's nice to know that Elvis has got all the offensive weapons that he has in Kansas City, but then again, you would know that the defense will key on that, and to have a little balance with the running game would obviously help as they come down the stretch run of the season.
Well, Week 10, let's hope they can get some balance. The NCAA basketball tournament doesn't start until March 15th, but Kansas and UCLA definitely in playoff form tonight. The college basketball season has finally arrived, folks. We head to the Garden, the Jayhawks and Bruins.
And in the past 31 years, the Chiefs and Rams have each won a Super Bowl. Ali and Frazier fought on 3 different occasions, and the Kansas State Wildcats have beaten Nebraska once. They get another shot this weekend.
Hi, honey. How about going out for a nice romantic dinner? No kids, just you and me. In Florida.
It's ATA's 2 to Go sale. Now you can bring a companion along from only $69. Just buy a ticket at ATA's selected off-peak fare to most ATA destinations in the continental U.S. and your companion flies along on the same flight from only $69. Just buy your tickets by November 20th. Call your travel agent or 1-800-I-FLY-ATA.
It's Watson's Factory Direct Pool Table Sale. Brand names by Casson, Peter Vitale, Sherwood, and others.
Our suppliers are overstocked. Truckloads of pool tables are being offered to the public at incredible savings.
Bigger savings are available on slightly distressed pool tables.
Factory direct prices on foosball tables, air hockey, and game tables. 12 months, same as cash.
Bar stools and counter stools.
Hundreds of two-piece queues as low as $9.99.
That's Watson's 2 weeks only Factory Direct Sale. Pendleton Pike, Indianapolis.
Welcome to the Crown Hotel. Allow us to show you to your room. Take care of every need. Suggest some amazing sights. And of course, you'll need some help with your bags. The Crown Hotel at the Casino Queen, directly across from the Gateway Arch. Call now for reservations. And ask about the Blues Special, featuring 2 Blues hockey tickets with a night stay.
It's the huge inventory reduction sale at Ackerman Buick. Save $52.14 on a 2000 Park Avenue, now just $26,581. Save $37.46 on a 2000 Regal, now $18,196. Save $3,000 on a 2001 Century, now just $17,442. Or the 2000 LeSabre priced at $19,658. Save $33.20. Jerry Ackerman has been taking care of Buick customers for over 34 years. Since he owns his own building and property, his overhead is low, so he'll guarantee to beat any deal. Ackerman Buick, I-270 and New Hallsbury.
This is Jim Rome. Next on The Last Word, should the student athletes who generate billions of dollars for their schools be paid? Dale Brown and Billy Packer disagree on that. Plus, how did Bob Knight's address to the Pacers go over? An outstanding show, and it is coming up next.
You are watching your Midwest Regional Sports Report.
The Kansas Jayhawks enter this basketball season ranked 7th in the nation and with the hopes of winning another Big 12 title and going a long way in the NCAA tournament. After a couple exhibition games, the Jayhawks playing their first regular season game tonight at Madison Square Garden. The Jayhawks in New York for the Coaches vs. Cancer Classic. Taking on UCLA, Roy Williams in his first regular season game of the year. Watches Drew Gooden over to Kenny Gregory. The Jayhawks got off to a 16-2 start in this one. Gregory kept it going in the first half. Check out this sweet move to the hoop. Kansas out in front 20-6 at that point, but the Bruins fight back in this one. Got to give them some credit. They came back actually a couple of times in this one. Earl Watson with the NBA 3. That cut the lead to 6. Then Watson again on the rebound, the foul, the shot goes in. It was 57-51 Jayhawks at halftime. Bruins start strong in the second half. Watson on the reverse layup. He had 21 points. That cut the lead to 5. Good defense here by the Jayhawks, though. Nick Collison with the steal. Couple of misses, but Gregory, who had 24 points, is there with a putback, a 9-point lead, but here come the Bruins again. TJ Cummings. At one point, the Bruins cut the lead to 1. The KU hung tough. Drew Gooden with the basket there, and Jeff Boese with 4 clutch free throws as the Jayhawks hold on to win 99-98. High-scoring game, and the Jayhawks shot 54.7% from the floor. There you can see the sum of the scoring. Gregory with 24, Heinrich at 21, Gooden at 18, Chenoweth at 12 points and 9 rebounds. And after the game, Sam Marciano of Fox Sports Net talked to Coach Roy.
The Jayhawks get the win, and it was a high-scoring affair. Because of the rule changes, do you think that's something that we're going to see more of this year?
Well, I think we will see more points scored, but I think the reason that was such a high-scoring game tonight is Kansas wasn't real good on the defensive end, and you'd have to ask Coach Lavin, but I'm not sure he thought UCLA was. It was two teams whose offense is way, way ahead of where we are defensively.
Your players were very open about the emotions that they experienced in this offseason. Because the season has started, you get the first win. Can you put everything behind you now?
Well, I hope so. You know, it's things that went on in my life that I will never forget, but at the same time, we do have to move on, and when you're coaching college basketball to the kind of kids that I've got, it makes it a very pleasant thing to go on, and it's all that I've ever wanted to do, so we're moving on.
So who will Kansas play? Well, let's check out the nightcap between Kentucky and St. John's, the good doctor in the house. First half, St. John's trailing 22-21. The backdoor alley-oop. Oh, hello. Marcus Castile, the freshman. Low-scoring first half, 31-28 UK at the break. Second half action, Kentucky leading by 1 with less than 2 minutes. Tayshaun Prince for 3 from the top. Wow. 60-57 Wildcats. 61-57 KU with just under 14 seconds to go. Omar Cook misses the layup, but Anthony Glover makes sure it counts. 61-59 KU. 6.4 seconds left. Kentucky up by 2. On the inbounds pass, Glover once again. He makes the free throw attempt from the stripe, and it's 62-61. 5 seconds to go. Kentucky's Cliff Hawkins loses the handle as time runs out, and St. John's wins a squeaker. Your final on this one, 62-61, so they will take on Kansas tomorrow. They're still with Knight Star 15 points, Glover with 21. Some pretty good basketball out at New York tonight.
Last year, the Missouri Tigers bombed away from behind the arc, canning 291 three-pointers, 28 more than any other Big 12 team. All that long-distance shooting led the Tigers players to be nicknamed the Riflemen. But the Tigers were also last in the conference in rebounding. No nickname for them yet, but this year, Mizzou fans can expect an improvement in both areas of the Tigers game. Second-year coach Quinn Snyder has a slew of newcomers to turn to this season, including 6'9" power forward Arthur Johnson, also Ricky Paulding, Trayvon Bryant, and the man with the best hair in the Big 12, guard Wesley Stokes. Take my word for it. The added depth should translate into a 20-win season. Well, today was the first day for high school and junior college basketball players to sign their letters of intent for college, and SLU coach Lorenzo Romar is smiling. One of the top JUCO players in the country signs at St. Louis. Kenny Brown, a 6'10", 250-pound center from Iowa Western Community College, heading to St. Louis. Brown, who played his high school ball at Hazelwood West, averaged 16 points and 11 rebounds a game last season. He'll have 2 years of eligibility with the Billikens, beginning with the 2001 and 2002 season. Speaking of the Billikens soccer team hosting the Conference USA soccer tournament that starts today, but they have a bye, so SLU did, until tomorrow. They're already into the semifinals.
They'll either beat Cincinnati or Memphis in that semifinal round. Well, even without Mark McGuire in the lineup, Tony La Russa took the Cardinals on a magical ride through the baseball postseason. Were his efforts good enough to earn him the National League Manager of the Year award?
And you can look at this Saturday's K-State game as the Wildcats Bowl game. We'll explain why when we come back.